Namaste, I'm Dhruvika, design team member at Craft Angles. Today I have three beautiful cards using one stamp set. So for my first card, I'll be using this particular stamp set, which is called Mom You Rock by Craft Angles. It's a beautiful 4x6 inch stamp set. It has got one beautiful flower and a number of sentiments for mom, grandmom, etc. So for this, I have already cut a panel of 4x5 inches from the Craft Angles dual textured white cardstock, and now I'm going to do some ink blending using some pinks and blues. So I'm starting with the salty ocean here, and very generously I'm applying, but with a very light hand. I keep adding some more colors and start layering it up. So once it'll be done, I will now be adding some tumble glass blue color as well. So the ink blending will happen only on the right hand side corner, and then the pink will come from the left hand side. So here I come with my other ink. I'm also using the antique linen distress ink as a part to mix and blend the colors. So in the left bottom corner, I'm using the distress oxide in tattered rose, and it will give a beautiful, very delicate look to the whole card. Once I was happy with my ink blending, I splattered some water onto it so that it reacts very well, giving some dimension. And after it was done, it was now time to make the flowers. So I stamped it using the black dye ink and just stamped it over a scrap piece of the dual textured white cardstock. And I'm now coloring it in pink pastels, and you can see the shades that I'm using to color. So once they are done, I'm now just going to assemble my card. So I'm using the note cards by Craft Angles, which is the latest release of this month, and it is a pre-cut beautiful note card. So I just need to score it. I'm using my trimmer, and here I'll be scoring it, and it is very easy. I scored the note card in half along the longer edge, and then I get a perfect 4.25 by 5.5 inches note card. Now to bring back my panel here, I wanted to trim it off a little so that it is on the note card with a little some border out there. So I trim it off again, which measures 4 by 5 1/4, so that it completely comes up and has a little border outside like this, and then I'll paste it. Now it is time to assemble the card, where I've now placed my panel onto the pre-cut note card by Craft Angles, and then I'm placing the branches and the various flowers here and there. It will give an appearance of the flowers flying away from the branch, and I'll be sticking it using the 3D foam tape to give an additional dimension. I wanted to keep the sentiments very simple. I just wanted to say you rock. So I'm using the sentiments called You Rock from the same stamp set and heat embossing it using the white embossing powder onto the black cardstock by Craft Angles. And this is how my card looks. Now it is time when I'll be embellishing my card using some white drops. So I'm using the white colored uh, drops here, which will dry clear, and then to add some little more color, I'm using them in the color blue and some in yellow. It will pop up the whole background. I hope you enjoyed this card. Now let's move on to our next card. My second card today is a watercolor card, which is a clean and simple technique. So for this, I'm taking the main branch of the flower, which I'll be now stamping using the Versamark Onyx Fine Black ink, which is a waterproof ink. And once I do it, I'm just going to color it using the Rose Quartz liquid watercolor by Craft Angles. Also stamp some few mini flowers here and there to again give it a look of how the cherry blossom flowers always fall. To make the background of this card, I am using very diluted brown colored watercolor here and just giving a wash through it. And that will still give us a focus on the colors of the flowers, because that is how the spring is, and very subtle looking background. After I was happy with the complete panel and it dried up, I stuck it onto the colored cardstock in the color rose pink. And for the sentiments, I have heat embossed it with white embossing powder, saying you are amazing, and then fixed it using the double-sided tape. Now again, to embellish the whole card, I'm using some clear drops here, which are looking white but will dry up clear. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this card of mine here. For my last card today, I'm going to make a little wreath out of these particular flowers. To begin with, I'm doing a little stenciling onto the panel, which measures 4 and a quarter and 5.5 inches, and I'm going to stencil it using the soft pink dye ink, which I haven't. After I was all happy with the background, I just kept it aside and now stamping the flowers onto the watercolor paper using the distress ink in antique linen. So once it is done, I'm going to color it using the liquid watercolors by Craft Angles. I've decided to color it in grey and pink so that it gives a beautiful balanced look. And now I'm also stamping these sentiments directly onto the card base, and it says you are an angel in disguise. So after I've done this, I'm now going to affix the flowers using the double-sided tape here, and I'm going to affix it in such a manner that it creates a wreath. Here I've splattered some black ink, and now using the clear Nuvo drops, I'm just putting some embellishments here and there, and which will create a beautiful dewy effect onto the card. That is how my card looks. I hope you enjoyed watching all three beautiful cards that we created using single stamp set by Craft Angles. Thank you.